So welcome everyone. One way to describe meditation is that meditation supports you in experiencing everything completely. So meditation is the art of learning how you can experience everything completely. And what I mean with experiencing completely is to experience what it means to be human with less and less reactivity and more love. So meditation will not help you to solve your problems, or meditation will not help you to go to another space or transcend the human experience. But meditation supports you in opening your body, opening your heart, opening your mind, so that you can be present to what it means to be human. And so that's something which you explore in formal meditation when we sit here. So what you explore, the invitation is when you sit here, like supported by the field of the group and supported by this room, you explore how can I, with what is happening just now, how can I be with that in a peaceful way, in a more peaceful way? So that's the question. How can I, with what is happening for me right now, in a more peaceful way, in a more easygoing way? So that means when we sit here, it might feel okay, but it could be also quite challenging or uncomfortable. Maybe you feel it's a bit stuffy or crowded, or you bring something from the day. Maybe you have a hard time in your life in general. So what the invitation is, and I will try to support you in this through my instructions. So the invitation is to touch everything, as if your awareness, as if your mindfulness, as if your awareness are healing hands. So you touch everything with that gentleness, with that kindness, with that welcome. So maybe you feel, for example, stiffness in the body. So then it's like, ah. Or maybe you are sad. So it's the same. It's like, oh. Or you feel judgmental. Or you have judgments going on towards yourself and others, maybe the surroundings or your neighbor. So then, and nothing is excluded from that. So in meditation, you don't try to put on a veneer or like a distance between who you are and the practice. So you bring yourself along completely and you are just honest with what is happening for you. So if you are sitting here with a judgmental mind and complaining, then you don't try to pretend that you are the most kindest person in the world. So you include whatever is happening. So the Buddhist teachings, they assume that you have everything to be at peace, to be whole, available to you right now. That's the basic Buddhist paradigm. That what you are seeking through all your projects, through the spiritual project, through the partnership project, through the yoga project, through the personal development project. So what you're seeking through all your projects, through your renovation projects, through your art project, what you are seeking through these projects is not available through these projects because it is given to you completely freely now. So why is it that we feel quite often that this is not it, but that we need to first become better or do this or do that or have this or get rid of that? So the reason for that is reactivity, contraction. So more you soften the contraction in your body, more you soften the reactivity, more free you are, more available you are towards others. So now while we are sitting here quietly, you might notice reactivity coming up, resistance. You might feel confused. You might feel upset. You might feel happy. So the instruction is very simple. The instruction is to allow whatever is happening, to allow everything to come and go on its own accord. Meditating like the sky, the Buddha said to this kind of meditation, meditating like the sky. And I want to add to meditating like the sky, I want to add meditating like the loving sky. So when we talk about giving space in meditation, what we are talking about is a loving space. And here loving space, not in the sense of the contracted love, which we often call love. So here the radical love. Openness. And again, not just sterile openness, but a loving openness. So after so many years exploring meditation, for me personally, I feel it becomes more and more simple what meditation is for me. And I feel what meditation is for me is to really, as best as I can in every moment, to touch my experience with love, to welcome my experience, to welcome my tension, my greed, my addictions, to welcome. And what happens then, even without you having the intention, what happens then, that this welcome towards your experience will be extended into your relationships. So here we can see that even if you thought you are here for yourself, because you want to improve maybe your life through meditation, actually, you are here for others. So this whole evening, this moment, is carried by the intention of service, and we don't need to think about it. We don't need to, like, I'm going to meditate because I want to be of service. This happens naturally. If you extend your friendliness and your kindness to your own imperfections, to your own mistakes, to your own shadow, which includes your cruelty, when you extend your love to that, then your life becomes the way you live your life does not add to the violence in this world. So this is for me always such a beautiful thought. Also, right now, that we're sitting here and we're holding our experience with as much love as possible, and it is a contribution to world peace. There is no hope for peace without people making that gesture to themselves. And it's, in a way, it's really so simple. This comes up. Okay. It's okay. Contraction comes up. Yeah, it's okay. Fear comes up. Yeah. Come on, fear. I take you into my arms. I'm here for you. I'm here for you, whatever it is. Whatever comes up, I'm here for you. So let's resonate with this, and I invite you to take a few moments to check your posture so that you sit in a gentle way. And then you allow this shift to happen, like shifting gear from the thinking, the figuring out, and the stories, and being in the head. So it's an invitation to drop down into your belly, into your root, into your body. And of course, thoughts might continue, or probably they continue, but you you don't emphasize them so much. So instead, you emphasize kindness and the sensations in your body, softening and opening in your belly. And the breath helps you in this gesture. So the breath becomes a way of welcoming your experience, like bathing what is happening with the breath. Softening. And then sometimes you notice that you emphasize very much the inner dialogue again and the talk. And that's not a problem. So also there is space for that. But the invitation is that you gently drop down into your body again, into your root, into the trunk of your body, supported by the breath. And touching whatever you find, and particularly what hurts, with the healing hands of your awareness. And then we can appreciate that even after such a short time now sitting, how between us there's a field of stillness, a field of presence arising. And even if you are agitated or tired, this still presence, this stillness is also there, is also happening. The space from which this voice comes and is received in your heart. The heart space where we can meet beyond fears. So you discover the vastness of your being, of your heart. So sometimes it might be possible for you to just rest in that stillness, being that stillness, becoming that stillness. And softening into the goodness of that stillness. Let yourself be meditated by the presence, by the field of presence, like sitting in the sun. And again, if you find yourself emphasizing the dialogue, the mental images, then without making it into a problem, there's space for that. But I invite you then to drop down again into the root, into the trunk of your body, into a grounded presence, where the thoughts can continue like clouds passing. And softening and opening. In particular, touching any discomfort which arises with soft, healing hands, like embracing a friend. So meditation as the invitation to experience everything completely. Everything. Dropping into the body, into the trunk of your body, opening. Let it be okay. That's fine. Let it be okay. Just resting. and let it be okay. And dropping the whole body, from the toes to the top of your head. Breathing. Feet. Before the break, I would like to share with you one of the methods which I found helpful in difficult moments. So, moments of reactivity, moments of contraction, which happen every day. And there's also different methods and models I share here on Tuesdays, and one of them is a method from Pema Chodron, which I also talked about 2 weeks ago, but I want to repeat it because there's some people out there I think it would be useful for them. So I was asked to talk about it. So this method is called the fear method, like fear, like the fear. And each of the letters stands for a certain aspect of that practice. So the F, the first step in this method, in this practice, in a difficult moment, a contracted moment. And that is suffering. So that's how we create suffering. It's not the things out there, it's not your relationships, it's not what's happening. It's your reactivity which makes what is happening, which turns that into suffering. So a Buddha, a Buddha is just someone, or just, it's amazing, but is someone who experience everything completely, just completely, without contraction. Even death is nothing for Buddha. For if you awaken, so Buddha is awakened to the openness of his or her heart. Nothing can make that heart contract. Nothing. Even not your own death. So maybe you are not there yet. I'm definitely not there yet. So I still contract when I can't pay a bill, or if I'm about to miss a plane. So that's why it's so. That's why it's so important to have some tools or some reminders. How can I be in those moments of contractions, which will continue to happen? And sometimes it seems that some teachers pretend that they don't contract anymore, but I have not really. I mean, I have been around like really amazing teachers, but I saw them contracting. And that's good. I mean, we are human. So most of the time when someone pretends he does not contract, she does not contract, it's just a facade. My partner, she calls it the monk stunt. And I'm pretty good at that. To play the monk. And then 2 days later, I admit it was actually the little boy who acted. Was actually the reactivity. So the F, it's the first step in a moment of reactivity. So the F stands for feel it in your body. That's so beautiful. I was so happy when I was listening to this teaching of Pema Chodron that she made this the first move, the first gesture. Feel it in your body. And it is something which comes as a surprise for some people who have an idea that meditation is something kind of you transcend or you say goodbye to the human experience. So for some people it is quite difficult in the beginning to accept that the Buddhist path, the path of mindfulness, is a path of walking towards the human experience, walking towards the embodiment, what it means to be embodied on this earth. And some people would, when I say, because when I work with people and I ask this question, okay, how does this feel in your body? Some people are like, body? No, fear. No, fear is like here. It's my thoughts. It's like, So it's actually something which which all of us, I think, all of us, which we really, with curiosity and love, need to explore how we how we how we feel and think and are in our relationships, in our world with the body. It's like also now maybe you when if you listen to what I'm saying, there is that kind of the content of the words, but actually much more is happening in our communication with the whole body. Your whole body is here. Your whole body is listening and is responding and is interacting with this. So how does it feel in the body? So in the night you wake up, I can't pay this bill. Yeah. And then you ask the question, feel what? The instruction, feel it in the body. So you ask the question, how does it feel in the body? And maybe then you put your hands there where you feel it. And you feel the energy, you feel the contraction. So what this question invites us is to be really curious about the somatic, energetic aspects of our emotions. To experience emotions as the flow of energy. And figuring out slowly that none of your feelings is dangerous. None of your feelings is difficult. Difficult, yes, not difficult. Is poisoning. None of your feeling is poisoning. And you are perfectly equipped to have all your feelings. And they will continue to come. You should have read the contract. You are a human being with feelings. Take care of your feelings. They are not there for being solved or transcended, or they are there for to be felt. So this question is like, it amazes me. And I'm also amazed when I talk with people what this question can do. Like, someone comes to me and wants talks and fear or depression or anxiety. And then it's so beautiful to see when someone really connects. How does this feel in your body? Where is it in your body? Yeah, I can feel it here in my stomach. Yeah, how does it, is it big? Is it small? Where is it? What kind of quality? Is there a color connected with it? Does it have a shape? How old is it? Is it young? Is it ancient? And I do like this. This is like in the Buddhist tradition, there is this what is called mudras. And they are hand gestures which express some aspects of the teachings. So that's like the mudra of self-compassion, of welcoming. And the same is actually, I mean, those of you who have been here before, they have figured that out. I like to talk about difficult things. It's just because my life is difficult. And so sometimes people, they get fed up with that. So I add something now. The same is, of course, true in moments where you feel good, where something beautiful happens, where you're in love, where you see something beautiful, when you are touched. Also there is such a beautiful question. How does it feel in your body? Get to know your joy. Get to know the energy of joy. Indulge in it. Welcome it. That is a problem with, if you want, and to a certain extent, we all want that. We want to disconnect from difficult feelings. So, but if you do that, you also disconnect from the good feelings. So if you disconnect from your fear, you also disconnect from your joy. You can't just separate these two and just feel the joy and disconnect from the fear. Either or. So if you have a history of disconnecting from difficult feelings, that can lead to a kind of sense that your life is flat and that gray and that it does not make sense and that there is no beauty. And part of that could be that because you were afraid to touch the sadness or the fear or the vulnerability. It's a side effect of mindfulness practice, which is not in the advertising of the mindfulness courses. That actually mindfulness practice is also increasing the amount of difficult feelings. And then people think they do something wrong because they don't feel better and better and better. So the whole package, feel it in the body. And it's really like a whole universe. And it's beautiful to notice when you practice being in contact with what is happening in your body, being in contact with the energy of your emotions, how that makes your life richer. And how you cease to try to get to a place where you don't have difficult feelings anymore. Like, try to make all the insurances and, and just trying to arrange the world so that it will not hurt you anymore. Maybe staying in bed. But when you start to discover that you can be with the energy of your emotions, and that there's actually something beautiful, that there is something beautiful and mysterious in sadness and fear, then you come to a place of self-reliance, knowing, no matter what happens in my life, I can be present for that. I can be there. I can be just there. I show up. So F, feel it in the body. The question is, the inquiry question is, how does this feel in your body? Where is it in your body? What shape, what color, what temperature? What material is it? How old is it? And so these are all questions kind of not to be answered, but they make you look, they make you curious about exploring the somatic, energetic aspects of your emotion. So the second, and then I just mentioned it, and then we have a break. So that's fear, the I. That's embrace it. Yeah. So feel it in the body, embrace it. Take it into your arms, like a child. And this embrace it, that is something, as I talked about before our meditation, that is something you cultivate, which you discover in meditation. So what you really cultivate or discover in meditation is the possibility to say yes to your experience. Yes, this is how it is. Yes, this is a difficult moment. It's a difficult moment for me. Yes, it is difficult. Oh, it's difficult. Yeah. Oh. So that's actually basically all the meditations instructions I try to give. They are about doing that. So when I say, let this moment be, allowing, accepting, saying yes, just yes. What did I say today? It's okay. Let it be okay, I said. Let it be okay. So, and I use these different words and different instructions so that you might pick up one of them. And tonight when you can't sleep, you hear my little voice. Maybe not in my voice, but you hear like someone saying to someone saying, "Let it be okay. It's fine." And certainly, if you would come for a period of time, then this kind of sentences or word, they start to pop up. At least that's the case with me. When I listen to a teacher or to guided meditation, then yes. So that's the embrace, and find your own words, your own instructions, your own pointers to that. Relax, baby. It's good enough. That's Lama Yeshe. So sometimes he comes and whispers in my ear, "Relax. It's good enough." And then, oh. And sometimes it's more like, it's not even a word, it's more like the voice or the so the kind of, it comes sometimes in a mental image or in a feeling, yeah, as if they come, as if these teachers come, and yeah, so and that is something which you discover in meditation. This embrace, how to do that. Okay, so let's have a break, 15 minutes, and then after the break we sit quietly, and then I will share with you the second two aspects of this practice, the A and the R.
Is it hurting your back? Is it hurting your back?
I'm very happy to see you.
Well, I told her yeah.
So first, you settle with the body. So you take a few moments to adjust your posture so that you sit with an open chest. And the shoulders can relax. And it's a sense of sliding into presence. So notice the position of the head, balanced. And your hands resting in your lap or on your legs. And the sensation in your hands resting, they are actually a quite good returning point, helping you to ground yourself. There's no sense of concentration. It's more an opening, softening. And you feel the energy in your trunk, in the trunk of your body, in your belly, in your root. So after the break now, so how is it for you to be here right now? And then slowly you emphasize the stream of thinking less, without trying to stop it or get rid of it, but you don't emphasize it as much. And you are just here with me, just being here and being who you are, being here with me. In this moment where you have everything you need, with nothing you need to do, nothing you need to understand, where there's nothing you can do wrong or right, because it's happening. This moment is happening. There's nothing you need to add. Dropping into the root, dropping into the trunk and off your body. And then we can appreciate the stillness. And here with stillness, I mean the stillness which is always there. The stillness which is in the nature of love. content of your experience, the sensations in your body, the breath, the thoughts, the sounds, this voice is changing moment by moment. There's a flow, and there's nothing solid or concrete. Let it flow. And then there's something else, something which does not change, your presence. The field of awareness which we share. The stillness which is in the nature of love. The vastness of your own being, where you are most deeply yourself, even beyond you were born and after you will die. Timeless, transpersonal, boundaryless and centerless, simple. Like the sky, but knowing. And then at the end of this sitting, I invite you to appreciate how a moment of kindness with yourself and a moment of non-violence here is really a contribution to the city. The city is not out there, it's also in here. So we can share the stillness which is in the nature of love with our surroundings. So that this moment keeps on being a source of protection and inspiration for us when we go home now and when we start our day tomorrow. Because the openness of this moment, the stillness of this moment, the kindness in this moment is there, always available for you in a moment of slowing down, in a moment of opening your heart, in a moment of saying yes to what is happening. The fear model, or the fear method, feel it in the body, embrace, and the A stands for allow thoughts to dissolve. Allow thoughts to dissolve. And again, that is something which you discover in meditation. So in meditation, you discover that possibility to neither engage in thoughts and nor suppress them or try to suppress them, but to give them space so that they can dissolve by themselves, which they do moment by moment. So in the Tibetan tradition, this is called the self-liberating nature of thoughts. So here in the Tibetan tradition, most of the time in meditation, you are not doing anything with thoughts. You're not trying to control them, or you don't try to have better thoughts, or you don't distinguish between holy thoughts and crappy thoughts. Not of that. So it's a non-control method. But what you then discover is that thoughts are like drawings on water. They have no substance. Like a drawing in water which arises and is gone in the same moment. In the same way, a thought arises and is gone, and there's nothing you can actually. The instruction of changing your thoughts does not make sense because there's nothing you can change. It's gone. It's changed. How would you change a drawing on water? It's gone. It's already gone. You can't let go of thoughts because there is nothing to let go of. It's like you try to let go, but it's gone already. Like a drawing on water. Try to let go of a drawing on water. It's already gone. So the same is with the thought you just have. You can't let it go because it's not there anymore. That's called the self-liberating nature of thoughts. So allow the thoughts to dissolve. Allow the storyline to fade. And when I am awake in the night, torturing myself with a story that I can't pay this bill, then I indulge in the thoughts and I keep on adding to it, and I become 5 years old and fall into the catastrophic thinking. And I believe that crap. I believe that crap which is happening there, and which has its own life. It's like it's just going. It's just like, it's not that I think the thoughts. They are just happening. So, but if you are locked into them and you take them serious, then it's very difficult to have some more space. So that's why feel it in the body. So feel it in the body. So you emphasize the sensation in your body. And this is a good word, emphasize. So what you figure out in meditation is that you can emphasize within the field of your experience, you can emphasize different things. Like right now, you can emphasize stressful thoughts, or you could emphasize looking at the flowers, or you could emphasize how it feels what I say, or you could emphasize the pain in the stomach. And here in this kind of meditation, all that is allowed. But as soon as you notice that you emphasize the storyline, you drop into the body and you allow the thoughts to dissolve. If I manage to do that, and after a while I manage, then I fall asleep. So this is also something which is like a side effect of meditation, that you discover a different relationship to your thoughts. So then the R, there's two versions, my version and Pema Chodron version. And my version came about because when I listened to this teaching the first time, I fell asleep after the third point. So I missed the fourth point. And then when I was listening to it on a train, and so I fell asleep, and then the teaching was finished, and I woke up, and then after a while I was thinking, okay, I know what F is, what is E, what is A, the R. I must have missed it. So what could it be? And so then I thought about it. R. So then I thought, it must mean rest. It must mean rest in awareness. And so, because that's for me like allow thoughts to dissolve, and then what? For me, it's like the continuation of the practice of letting thoughts to dissolve is to rest in the space which opens when your thoughts dissolve. And so rest in awareness, that's actually kind of the essence what I want to share here on Friday, on Tuesdays. The practice of resting in awareness. Or at one point, resting as awareness. Being the loving space through which your life happens. That's what mainly Tibetan meditation is about in the Mahamudra and Dzogchen tradition. Rest as awareness. Ease up the identification with the content of your experience and be the loving space through which the content moves. So this awareness, rest in awareness, that has many names. So the Christian mystic would maybe say rest as God. In the Buddhist tradition, you might say rest as Buddha nature, rest as Dhammakaya, rest as the primordial ground, rest as the vastness of your being, rest as the beloved, rest as pure awareness, rest as Rigpa. That's the Tibetan word. So that I thought that's it. And then 2 weeks ago, before I talked about this the first time, in the afternoon, I thought, oh, I better listen to the thing again. Let's see what she says. So I listened to the teaching again, and she comes up with something else. So, and I'm telling you, and that is recall that you are not alone, and there's countless others in exactly the same situation. So that is in the Tibetan tradition, leading into a practice which is called Tonglen. So giving and taking means that. So it is that gesture or that move from poor me and my suffering and my problem to we are in this together. And I'm not special. You know, if I wake up in the night with fear that I can't pay this bill, just in Copenhagen, there's thousands of people who are just there with me in that spot. And that is how you bring into the experience the compassion. So it's like, oh, wow, we are really, I mean, look around, everyone is struggling. And it's like, how are people doing this? And they all manage. It's just amazing. Life can be so difficult. And then one could kind of go more into the practice of Tonglen and saying, oh, may all these people be free of the fear of not being able to pay their bill. May they be all free of this. Actually, if I could take all that fear upon myself, like with the in-breath, like take all the fear, I would do it. Like a mother would do for her children. And then with the out-breath, I would give all these people who are awake in the night and they can't sleep, I give them what they need. I give them space. And I will give them the wisdom to know that they will manage and that this will pass and that it is not that important. So with the out-breath, I give them all that because I know what they need. I know exactly what they need because I feel what I need. And while I give it to all these people who are with me, awake in the night, while I give them, I also receive that. So no matter with what you struggle right now in your life, it's something we share. It's something, of course, quite often we might have a sense that it's particularly difficult and I have special problems, but it's not like that. Everyone struggles. And everyone is more or less good in pretending that everything is fine. Fortunately, not everyone is good at it. So that would be horrible to be surrounded by people who are very good in pretending that they are fine. But you can see it in each other, the pain. So that is the introduction of compassion into this practice, into the fear practice. And I think it's both it depends on where I am, but so I like both. It's both opening. It's both letting go of the drama and of the taking it so personal, like so important. So the R, the rest in awareness, or the recalling that there's many people who are in the same situation. And then with the possibility of, with the in-breath, so with the in-breath, that I am awake tonight, may that be the cause for all the other people to be free. May I go through this experience on the behalf of all the other people who are awake tonight. And then with the in-breath, you breathe in the contraction, the pain, the worry. So you breathe it in. And then with the out-breath, you share space, you share love, you share relief with the out-breath. So that is the fear practice. Find it in the body, embrace, allow thoughts to dissolve, rest in awareness, recall that there are others. So now it's a matter of becoming mindful about moments of reactivity and having the courage in that moment to slow down instead of speeding up. So you notice reactivity, mindfulness. Where do you notice reactivity? That's something you get to know. And then you take that as a mindfulness bell. Or maybe some of you know the practice of the mindfulness bell of Thich Nhat Hanh. So they have this practice of that throughout the day. Someone strikes a bell, the mindfulness bell. And in that moment, everyone pauses with whatever you do. And you take a breath and you're present to the moment. So now in this practice, your own reactivity becomes your mindfulness bell. So the contraction, the wanting to collapse, whatever the pattern is. So that becomes your mindfulness bell. And then to have the courage, and that's so hard. Yeah, well, hard, it's so difficult. Because we don't want to be in that spot. We don't want to be in that spot of contraction. We rather smash something, or numb out, or distract ourselves. So that's like the love. I think it's like it's a love for life in all its forms, which can make you pause there and also touch that moment. And sometimes it's like, wow, you know, it's so difficult to just pause because it feels like you're going to die if you're not smoking this cigarette. Or to explode. You know, you're going to die. It's so difficult. Good luck. Good luck. That's the way to. That's the only way to stop to be a slave of your patterns. I must say, with many things, it takes me years. And there I am again. Again, I run away. And again. Next time. And again. But then, at one point, when you realize, wow, I can stay there. And I don't explode. and you don't do what you used to do at that moment. This is so fantastic. And then what you notice what you say then is different. It has less of the violence in it. In the beginning, it's almost, I mean, that's what I do is I do it then after. I mean, I bolt out of the situation, and then after half an hour or after going for a walk, then I settle down, and then I imagine, and then I feel into it, and then I explore the aftermath of it, and then I feel, I can be at least with the aftermath. I'm a bit closer. Maybe next time it's only 50 minutes. The last thing I want to say is, if you're in a relationship, and we are all in relationships, but if you are kind of in close relationships, you're so lucky because it gives you the opportunity to stay, to try to stay in that. I think that's one of the really big gifts I experienced when I disrobed, that it was more difficult to stay. So like if you have children, then you are so lucky because there they are and you can't run away. Okay. Good luck. Be well. And yeah, see you again maybe. You can watch this video if you want to be reminded. And I just one last thing. This center relies on your donations, on your generosity to survive. So I would like to remind you when you come here that you give a donation. You can also use mobile pay. There's the phone number. So that's how this place is run by volunteers, and that's how this place survives. So what people give on the evenings. Okay, thank you and see you. Bye.